Hello, hello, hello. What is up, beautiful people of the interwebs? Yes, yes. Live from producer Dojo headquarters in Vancouver. It's Thursday evening. Yeah. What's up, everybody? I'm coming at you live the day after completing the filming of The Producer's Path. I'm so stoked. We just finished week 12 yesterday. It was crazy good vibes and so much amazing music got made by the people in The Producer's Path. That course was like, it's basically the culmination of, years and years of me teaching music. Because, it took me probably about 10 years of teaching to get to the point where I could do the first ill methodology workshop back in 2011. And that workshop was like the one that put me on the map as not just someone who, you'd call up when you were doing a live set and you needed someone to do your programming, but as someone who is like an educator. And, a lot of huge producers, like every time I run into, big producers and meet them and stuff, like, but pretty much half of the time I'll run into them and be like, hey, what's up? I love your music, blah, 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 like totally fanboying out. And then they're like, oh, I took your workshop when I was a kid. And now I'm a musician who you paid to come see. That happens all the time. Like, even like at Shambhala a couple weeks ago, I was checking out Caracal Project from Brazil, who produces with Imanu, Imanu's one of my heroes. And I had made a bunch of USB sticks full of sample packs and stuff. And I came up to meet him after the show and was like, losing my shit, because it's Caracal Project, and he's like one of the greatest drum and bass producers ever. And I came up and I was, I still get a little nervous when I talk to people who are like, in the stratosphere for my own musical tastes. So I was a little nervous, and I came up and met him after his set and stuff, and he was like looking at the USB stick and it said "Oh Gates" on it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, took your workshop when I was a kid." So, took me a long time to get to that point. And then, now that was 2011, and this is now 2024. And I've been working and working and working and trying to build the library of classes. So I had a class on like every topic covered, and that was the weekly download, which took me years to make. There's 400 weekly download classes, 400 different classes, every class different. And then once that was built, then I could build my course by taking people through just the most necessary pieces of that course in the right order to give them the biggest jump that I could in their musical progress. And, then that was the Producer's Path 1.0. And then after a year plus of testing that with students, we were ready for the Producer's Path 2.0. And that was recently just live, and we just finished the last of the 13 classes, because there's a week 0 class, and then there are 12 levels that come once a week, and a program with habit tracking and stuff where your 5 minutes a day reminder comes in on the app, and you can get a streak going and score yourself. And just that tiny commitment of 5 minutes a day will change your life. It'll take you from going from music that's like something that you've always wanted to do to something that you do every day. And it just happens, like having a shower or brushing your teeth, and seeing people take the power of that tiny habit and build and build and build. and having the classes start super, super easy, not technical at all, and build the skills up from never having made music before to being able to make music that you like reliably and that you're proud to show people, you know. And I wanted to make a course that could take people there in 90 days, you know, 12 weeks, 0 to 60, hit the gas pedal. How can you take people from nothing to finishing music that they like, that they're proud of, that they can feel like, I didn't just say I was going to make music. I actually did it. I stuck to my guns. I was disciplined and I did it. And just seeing that transformation in people was really magical. And we tested and tested the producer's path for over a year. We just filmed the final version and it's done. It's done. The producer's path is done. The final version is done. It's there forever now, for the ages. And I feel like it's like that course is in many ways the distillation of my life's work as an educator. And it's done. I'm so excited. So that means that it's a whole new chapter for me and especially for Producer Dojo. So that's why I'm doing this live Q&A hangout today, because there's tons of big changes that have come to the dojo, and they're really, really positive. And it's, you know, it's the best it's ever been. The music that's coming out of it is the best it's ever been. And I've become a lot more hands-on about it too. You know, in the past, I was kind of like, you know, I'll admit I was treating Producer Dojo as though it was like kind of like a tech startup, you know, especially living in San Francisco for so long. All my friends had different startups and everything and different management philosophies. And the conventional wisdom is like, you know, if you run a company, you delegate everything that you can and you try and stay at the top level and manage a team and grow as quick as you can. You know, and I came to realize that things get done best when they're done by me, you know, and when the more involved with the community I am, the more hands-on with the community I am, the more available to the community I am, the better it all is. The more I listen, the more the community tells me what works. And the community tells me how to make Producer Dojo better, and the community tells me how to serve better. And, you know, that kind of shift in philosophy, it took a while for me to get there. You know, at first I was like, hey, you know, my music is always my primary focus. You know, like I tour, I produce. I've got like some of my biggest records ever coming out this year. Like I can't wait. Like I've been quiet for a bit to get ready for these, but the biggest records of my life are coming out this year. I can't announce them yet, but like heavy hitters, like top names in electronic music, Grammy winners. You know, there's some bombs about to drop. So, you know, that's always my main focus. And when, you know, when I was, cause like the dojo it was built by my students, you know, people who were affected by, my teaching were like, hey, let us build this community. And I was always like, okay, I don't want this to get in the way of my music career. You know, I don't want this to take all of my time. I don't want it to be too sticky, you know? But the community has been amazing, and watching it grow has been amazing. And the Kajabi site that the original members built for the community was amazing for a long time. But I have come to the realization that, you know, this community is as important as the music that I make, you know, and a lot of my best friends for life are from this community. And a lot of my favorite musicians have come out of this community. And when I go out into the world and meet people who are like my musical heroes. And then I learned that they've taken my workshops or that they were in the dojo for a bit. You know, it's really kind of made me understand that this is as important as my music. And then a lot of my biggest and best gigs as a producer have come as a result of me teaching. You know, like I never would have got to work with Gucci Mane if I didn't train Ionize, you know? And Ionize was like, hey, thanks for showing me the ways. Like, look, I'm getting millions of plays on my tracks, working with top rappers. I want you to remix Gucci Mane. Thank you, Dylan. And I was like, oh my God, Gucci Mane, like one of my favorite rappers ever. He says the most outrageously outlandish things all the time. I love him. And, you know, that's how that Polar Bear remix happened. And then later he had another track, Look What I Got, and he put me in charge of the remix EP, and I got to like put together that dream team of remixers with like EPROM and Rip Kenny. And, you know, I hooked up that music video for the EPROM remix. I hooked Ionize up with Black Lake, but all that came because I was a teacher, you know, because I was training people. And, you know, working with Soli and Atlantis, you know, it was because they're like, hey, you know, like we really respect what you do and we love your music too, but we respect what you do and how you give to the community. So here, you get to work with me and Atlantis Morissette. You know, we got another new one coming. And that's crazy. Like those are huge Grammy winning artists, you know, and that came because of the dojo. Or like Apache. Apache is like one of the top names in all of electronic music now. And he came out of the dojo, you know, and when he got me to do that remix for Kung Fu a couple years ago, it's like still one of my top tracks. That was his way of saying thank you, you know? So it took me a while to get there, but I have gotten to the point where, you know, I've realized that I want to know what's going on. You know, I need my ear to the ground. I don't want to be like aloof and distant from the community. I want to be in there, in with everybody, you know, celebrating the wins, picking people up when they're down, and really doing it. And that it's not something that's going to get in the way of my music. You know, it's something that, if anything, makes my music better, makes my career better as a musician. And the idea that, you know, producer Dojo is over here and Ill Gates is over here and they can't be together, that was a mental block that I had to get through. And it's just, you know, it's like that old saying, like, you know, when people have, there's this stigma, you know, like those who can't teach, you know, and like, you know, teaching somehow made me less of a musician or somehow got in the way. But I've come to realize that it doesn't. It makes me better as a musician. It brings me opportunities I never would have dreamed of. And the more I am close with the people in the dojo and the more I'm in there, the better it is for everybody. So rather than treating it like a tech startup and like delegating and outsourcing and stuff, I've come to the realization that it's like, you know, Slow Form and Dave and I, we're the team. You know, we're not taking on new people. We're not delegating. We're managing the team. And as a result of that, I've gone into the Discord and I started managing the Discord. I had a mental block about Discord. I was like, oh, I don't, you know, it's Bezos and Gamergate and stuff. Like, oh, I don't want to use Discord. But now that I've taken over as the Discord moderator, I've realized that the Discord is incredible and it's such a powerful environment. And we were doing like all this web development, building the producerdj.com marketplace and stuff. And, you know, I would spend so much time behind the scenes trying to build this platform when I could have just been using Discord, you know? And so now that we're using Discord, it's incredible. Like I check the Discord every day. I'm in there moderating it, and you know, it's not in the way. It's not in the way. It's fun. It's a great place to hang out. And the music that is coming out of the people in the dojo and seeing like the course discussions and everything as things are going on in the Discord has been really incredible. So that's been another really big change, you know, like just leaning in to embracing doing everything myself and with Katie and Dave. Big shouts out to Slowform and Dave, my partner. They've been amazing. And being in there all the time and like actually, doing written track feedback like pretty much every day and talking to people and seeing how the lessons go over, the producer's path would not be half as effective as it is if it weren't for the feedback and the notes that I get from the community and the suggestions that I get from the community. And, so I've really come to realize that this is not a tech startup. This is not in the way of music. This is like a symbiosis. And, this community is so powerful and so fertile, and just seeing it grow and grow, and like even just like Shambhala, like playing at Shambhala and seeing Katie up there, the village stage, like playing. She made a whole original set for the village stage. You should go check it out on her slow form SoundCloud. It's incredible. And just watching people's minds just melt in the morning when she came on that giant 150,000 watt cutting edge PK sound system tuned by the engineers who designed the speakers, and like ground zero of all of PK. And seeing Katie come up there and like represent the dojo, and seeing so many people just be like, her set was my favorite set of Shambhala. Like there are tons of people who said that. So, it's not in the way. It's a symbiosis, and it's just it's a really powerful community, and it's a whole new chapter and a whole new dojo. So there's a bunch of big changes that I want to tell you about that I feel are really positive, and like I'm in a really positive place about it all now. And we've made a bunch of like really big changes. So number one is Discord. Everything is moved over to Discord, and there's new levels in the Discord. I'm the Discord moderator now. Katie and Dave are, of course, helping with the Discord, but it's popping off. There's a lot of action in there every day, and it rocks. And there's separate areas for all of the courses that we're doing, and then there's a free area that anyone can get access to that has a bunch of music resources. We've been adding stuff kind of gradually, but we're getting ready for 2025 when like all of these changes are going to be final. But from now until 2025, we're like migrating into Discord, but there's already like a new free area of Discord. And then we have a new community area of Discord, and that's where you can link up with fellow members, submit tracks for feedback, access deeper levels of music resources, ask the community questions about music stuff. There's hardware chat, there's software chat, there's live streams, there's all these other things. So there's a free area of Discord that has a YouTube guide that I'm working on with Katie that's about to get posted, and a bunch of free resources from around the web, as well as free downloads from Producer Dojo, and all that's like organized and in that in the free area of the Discord. So if you're not in there yet, definitely go in there and sign up, because it is free. And there is a free area that I'm really trying to make sure that there's always lots of free resources for those of you who are not as fortunate as others. I know times are tough, and you got to like take out a mortgage to like put food on the table these days. So we're really trying to make sure that there is lots of really cool free stuff, and that there is a free area of the community. And then we have a bunch of new memberships, and the first level of that is a community membership, and that is $5 a week, like the weekly download, because that community membership includes the basics library, which is a library of all the weekly downloads that you need to get started. All the like covering the bases, like intro to Ableton, intro to MIDI, intro to instruments, etc., all those classes on like the fundamentals. Those are in the community membership. So it's really cool because for the same price as a weekly download, you get all of the main weekly downloads presented in like a focused way, and then you get access to the community, and then I'm moderating. So that is a pretty cool way to get people access to the weekly download collection. It's not the complete weekly downloads because there's like I said, there's 400. There's an overwhelming amount of weekly downloads, but it took that long to make all those weekly downloads for me to be able to build my courses based on this library of videos. So so the community membership is, that's now a thing, and that's a new membership that we have available. And then one step up from that is the feedback membership. And the feedback membership contains everything that's in the community membership, and then the new reference library. And the reference library, this is like another, basically like the best 100 weekly downloads that are all the ones that like a sensei would recommend during feedback sessions, and all the ones that the community have been like, Desert Island, I cannot do without that weekly download. So it's all the weekly downloads that really you would want and need. There's probably more than you're likely to go through in a year, especially if you also have the basics library. So the basics library is all the fundamentals, and then the new reference library, that is a very focused collection of weekly downloads, and that comes with the feedback membership. And when you get the feedback membership, you get to submit your tracks for feedback in Discord, unlimited track feedback from the senseis, and you can submit for the streaming track feedback, which now happens in Discord. There were many people that did not like having their feedback recorded. And I kind of understand that. Like when we started getting that note from people that they were like, hey, I don't want my unreleased tracks like on YouTube or available in a recording. I want to get my live feedback and then have that stream be like done. It's like you can record it for yourself if you want it for later, but otherwise, like, we don't want recordings of that. So it made sense to move that feedback from Dojo TV to Discord. So there still are some feedback streams that are going on Dojo TV, but by 2025, all the feedback streams are going to be in Discord, and the feedback membership unlocks unlimited track feedback, as well as the reference library, which you should think of as basically like the weekly download, and the basics library, and that is $10 a week. So that is the next level up of membership, and I feel like that's a really positive change. And then the senseis, like, because the feedback membership, like getting track feedback, was that what it didn't come with the weekly download before, because there were 400 of them, and it was hard to kind of break it up. But now that we've broken the weekly download up into the basics library and the reference library, now the senseis can draw on the weekly download again. And those of you who have been without the weekly download, now you have a way to get the weekly download and track feedback, and it has not gotten more expensive. That's the same price that it's always been for those two things. And now they're in Discord, and you can get them all at the same price that they always were. So, so I'm really excited that we can offer those memberships now. So that's pretty rad. And then there is the Sensei membership. And for $80 a month, you can add a one-on-one, 1 hour long personal video lesson with a sensei of your choice. And you also get the feedback membership and the community membership. So you get the basics library, you get the reference library, unlimited written track feedback. You can submit for feedback on the live streams, which happen in Discord, and you get a full 1 hour lesson every month with a sensei of your choice. And that's, again, no price increase. No price increase. So I'm really stoked because, everything has just been jacking up the prices on everything, everywhere, all the time. It's brutal. They have like face recognition in grocery stores now that will change the price based on your identity that they're rolling out in Kroger. Like it's disgusting. You know, like private equity takeover of everything, flex like Uber style flex pricing on food. Like come on. You know, so we're really trying to not be a part of that problem. And I'm really stoked that we have come up with these solutions to be able to get people the dojo that they know and love without increasing the price. And so that's what's up. So you go to www.producerdojo.com/memberships, and I'm just putting that into the chat. Make sure I didn't make any spelling errors. Yeah, there we go. So that's in the chat. So you can check out those. So those are the first 3 memberships. Those are the basic memberships. So there's the community membership. Like free membership has a bunch of free stuff, and that's free, and everybody can get that for free right now in Discord. And the free membership comes with some reference channels that like we're still kind of adding to this stuff. This is going to be from now until 2025. You're going to have to like kind of bear with us while we set all this stuff up. But we've made some pretty good progress already. But the free area of the Discord has you know, a bunch of ways to connect with the community, and then it also has the free music resources from around the web, which is a very cool thing to have. A guide to the Dojo YouTube channel with the secret topic-specific playlists that you used to only be able to get in the Dojo bot, and then a list that's all organized of all the free downloads that we have at Producer Dojo. So that's all free, and that's if you join the Discord for free. And then one level up from that gets you community membership, and that's where you get into the curated areas of the Producer Dojo Discord, where you can ask music questions, ask for track feedback from the community, connect with regional people. There's a bunch of regional areas in there, you know, buying and selling gear, meeting up at festivals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that does take some moderation, that level of the community. So there's a charge for that. And then it also comes with the basics library, which is all of the fundamental weekly downloads that cover the basic topics. And that is the same $5 a week that the weekly download has always been. So I think that's a really cool, like you don't get all 400 weekly downloads for that price, but that would be overwhelming, especially if you're new. And there's all the free stuff in the free area that's included. And then you get the basics library, which is like, you know, the most essential foundational knowledge that the weekly download has. And there's like, you know, I mean, if you were going through that, you know, there's like, it's like pretty much like the most essential 50 weekly downloads are in there. So it's like, you know, you watch one of the week, that's a year, right? So that's pretty awesome at $5 a week. That's a pretty great deal. And then the next level up from that is the feedback membership, which includes the reference library. So that adds another, you know, it's probably going to be roughly 100 weekly downloads, and then also the basics. So you get basically 150 weekly download classes in there on lots of different topics and everything. And then you get unlimited written track feedback, and you can submit for the feedback streams. And so that is basically the price of the old track feedback membership plus the weekly download membership. So no price increase there. And I think that's like really fair, especially now that I'm hands-on and moderating in the Discord and stuff. Like it's better than before, and it's the same price. And then there's the Sensei membership, which if you bump it up to 80, that gets you a 1-hour one-on-one with Sensei of your choice each month, as well as the feedback membership and the community membership and the free membership. They all stack up. And now we get to the big memberships, which are really extra exciting. So there's a new version of the class of 808, which is, I think, a lot better. It is a bit more expensive, but it is also a lot better than before. And there's our new annual membership. And the annual membership gets you all 3 semesters at Producer Dojo doing linear courses like the Producer's Path. Now that the Producer's Path is done, we are moving on to new linear courses. And at first we were going to try and do 4 3-month courses a year. But after doing 2 of these linear courses, we realized 3 a year is probably better because people do need breaks sometimes, especially in summer, like doing the producer's path. This summer, you know, people go to music festivals and stuff. Like people have lives. So there are, it's like we schedule the breaks differently depending on whether I'm on the road doing gigs or whether how things work. We listen, we pay attention to the community. We're in there every day. Katie's in there in the Discord every day. I'm in the Discord every day. Dave's in the Discord every day. Support is all 3 of us now. No outsourced support. You know. So we listen and we're scheduling the breaks accordingly. But if we do 3 semesters a year, so there's like a January semester, there's a summer semester that's like May through August basically, or sorry, June through August, and then there is a fall semester, and the fall semester starts in September. And I'm really excited for what we got for fall semester. So now that we have this new linear format with like homework and feedback in Discord and like assignments and everything, like the reactions that we've got from the community to this have been just incredible. Like they've been just incredible. And here, actually, you know what? I should probably just show you the Discord so you can like see what we got popping over here. So I'm gonna switch over to the main screen. Okay, so yeah, here you go. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, so here's, this was just from the Discord from last night. I was like, hey, just finished the last slides for tonight's class. Really excited to wrap the course tonight, but I must confess to being a bit sentimental about it all. This has been an amazing experience, and I want to let you all know how proud I am of all of you who have made it thus far. Seeing the sincerity with which you approach your craft and the passion you put into the work has been a magical and humbling experience for me as a teacher. It's also been really heartening to see you all helping each other out, connecting in an authentic way, and uplifting the whole community through your participation. So sincerely, thank you. Give yourself a round of applause and get ready for the final week of the Producer's Path 2.0, in which we discuss finishing songs. And that was the class yesterday. And just this is what people had to say, like this is only the beginning. Thank you for everything. Can't wait to keep working through this course in the future. Gateless Music, who went to really expensive music schools and like studied classical music. This has been revolutionary for me, and this community is one of the best I've been a part of. Cynthia Music, this has been so great. I hope to keep networking and get to know all of you after the live course has ended. Just like totally like just everybody just going a gooey wet one here, all sappy. Yeah, everybody just like mad vibes, mad love, and yeah, Gateless. I'm so excited to sit and learn. My semester for college started up today, and I've been singing a lot of opera. I need something not opera to take my mind away, and this is the best way. Ego, the Producer's Path has honestly been a game changer. Gateless. Also, no joke, the stuff I learned in this course is improving my classical compositions. Big thanks to Il Gates for making music make more sense to my brain than college has. Ego, it's the best course I've come across. Like, yeah, these are, yeah, Pitt. Thanks for putting this course on for real. This has been the most positive thing I've ever done with 3 months of my life. Like, let's see if anyone else is, a lot of these are kind of, you have to, yeah. Yeah, and these are, yeah, and then at the end, I think, yeah, so they were just discussing the class during the class, and then when the class is finished, oh yeah, we're doing a mixtape, so people are just asking questions about the mixtape. Yeah, I swear every week has felt like a breakthrough in some way, either in shifting my perspective, improving listening, arrangement, orchestration, all of it. And once again, I feel like the lesson from this week and the finishing song stuff is helping me even more. And then like here, there's we collected some screenshots of stuff. Here's Chaos. Thank you so much for the kind words. It's been fun using the homework assignments to work on the song. It is a sample chop. Oh, wait, hang on. And thank you for everything. This course was exactly what I needed. I was definitely feeling stuck and could only do so much teaching myself off of YouTube. I even paid for another course in the past trying to get this out of it and didn't. Lol. So this has really just given me everything I was missing, the things I didn't even know I was. It was easily the best use of my money I've ever spent in my entire journey. And I have to say, it's even cooler to learn from one of the very few people who actually use modular for bass music. From Visic, I joined the Producer's Path with the hopes of revisiting the basics and learning some new techniques that could push my skills forward. It's not over yet, but I can already say I achieved both, especially with the mud pie and synth sampling techniques. I feel like I found the missing sauce in my music. As a producer, it's mainly been using composition and automation to produce. This new to me style of producing and sound design opens a lot of doors creatively. Uh, I'm gonna zoom in because it's a little small. And then maybe make this window a little bigger if I can. Come on, is it going to let me? Oh, Discord won't let me resize that. Okay, so it's hard to read. You're like all the positive aspects of an acid trip wrapped up into the human form Lamau. If I had the money, I'd take the course just for the experience. Sasha Fox, your content has got me out of a lot of bad places, and it's really refreshing to have something like production to focus on, for it to come from someone who knows what they're talking about and cares so much. The lessons in the dojo have challenged me tremendously and are really helping me rewire myself and my habits. It's helped me to see where I fall short. DMB Snob. Also, I just want to take a moment to say thank you for everything you do. I've struggled with producing my own music off and on for the last 10 years, to the point where I gave up on several occasions and went back to my 9 to 5, thinking that was going to be the rest of my life. The Producer's Path has changed all of that. I feel more confident with my music than I ever have. I'm finally finishing music that I'm proud of and enjoying the music writing process more than I have since my days in a high school punk rock band. More so than just the music teachings, the psychology, habit building, and remix your life mentality have been huge for me, both internally and in my outward interactions. I'm still taking baby steps towards making a career from music, but for the first time, I actually see a path in front to make that happen. So mark me down as another satisfied student, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, it's popping off. And like, if you go to, like, this is the Discord, you can see there's all these like super detailed threads. Here's the course discussion. Like, look at all these threads. Look at all these threads of people posting music. I'm like, I'm going in there and like, you know, I'm giving people like super detailed feedback. Like, look at this Pitt. He posted 1, 2, 3 beats that week. And look, here's like detailed notes on every track. All of them separate, all detailed notes. Like, I care, you know, I take the time, I do it. And, you know, it's going off, and people are getting really, really good, really, really fast. And it's just the best, you know, like, this is in many ways the culmination of my life's work. So I'm so stoked. It's done. I'm so stoked. It's ready. Seeing everybody blowing it up, making awesome music is fantastic. And, you know, that experience of going out to Shambhala, learning the Caracal project. He's like in Brazil. He's not even in America. That Caracal project was like listening to my music. Like, I listen to his music all the time. He's like one of my favorite drum and bass producers. And then Fibes too. Fibes at Shambhala. Fibes like they were secretly Dojo, and I had no idea. And they're like huge. They're so famous now. Fibes are like headlining at Boomtown Festival. Like, huge. Their dojo too. Like, yeah, the dojo sizzle reels. Like, I can't even mention everybody. There's so many people. So yeah, so we got our new annual membership, 3 semesters, 3 new linear courses, 12 levels each, homework assignments, community access. You get 3 courses a year. And the courses are normally $500 each, like the Producer's Path. If you just go to theproducerspath.com and get the Producer's Path, it's $500, and then you own it forever. And you can, most people will do it more than once, because the course is deep. Like, it's 12 weeks, but in every week there's stuff you're not going to get the first time. You know, like, it's designed so that you can repeat it. And they're all exercises that I repeat often. You know, all these exercises, you know, it's like, let's say you learn how to do, you know, a movement when you're training physically. You know, it's not like you do a push-up and you're like, oh, I've mastered the push-up, I never need to do a push-up again. You know, like, these are all methods and ways of thinking and ways of training that will be with you your whole life. as a producer. Like you'll be using what you learn in the dojo your entire career, you know? So a lot of people redo the producer's path. So the producer's path is $500 as like a one-shot purchase. That's not a subscription. But we have a special deal right now on the annual membership because, as I said, we're migrating the site from Kajabi into ClickFunnels. We're migrating everything into Discord. And, you know, it's been taking a bit to get all that set up. You know, 400 weekly downloads is a lot of videos to download and re-upload to a new site. Like, it takes a long time to do all of that, to remake all of the content posts and stuff. So take some time. So the special deal that we have that is basically, you know, from now until September, if you sign up before September, you get the producer's path added to your subscription because the producer's path, it just finished, but we're having that as a bonus until September 1st. And then you get the rest of 2024 for free. So when you pay for an annual membership, you're paying for 2025 to 2026, January to January, but you get the rest the 4 months and a full semester with a course for free. And the producer's path is also there. So you're getting 2 courses as a bonus, 2 of these linear courses. You get the producer's path, and then you get the new course that starts in September, Mastering Sound Design. Oh, I'm so pumped. I love sound design. It's one of my absolute favorite parts of making music, but I had to do the producer's path before I could teach people to do sound design because you got to be able to finish music that you're stoked on before it makes sense to learn sound design. But check it out. Here is the cover. Boop. Oh, yes. Your sound design is about to explode. Akira mashup cover. Akira is my favorite movie ever, not just because of the writing and the drawings, but also because of the score. The score is one of the most groundbreaking pieces of electronic music. It was the first time, to my knowledge, that the composers composed with samplers primarily. And they brought in all these different session musicians, like a full Japanese style taiko ensemble, a choir, rock performers, etc. And they sampled all of the performers. And this is in like 1982. Like samplers were not available to the public really at that point. And they sampled all of these different world-class session musicians, and they had like hookups with like samplers before the MPC came out, before the S950 came out. They had like all the hookups with Akai, and they had all the hookups with like Yamaha, and they had like DX7 and stuff like before the DX7 was out. And they composed the score to show the animators, and they composed the score by sampling the session musicians and then having the session musicians play back the music based on what the sampler remixes of their performances, like they learned their sampler remix performances and then performed them again. And that was how that score was composed. So that's why that music sounds so incredible. And that was a really groundbreaking moment in electronic music history. So in honor of Akira, I've made all the artwork for the Mastering Sound Design course is inspired by the film Akira. And I've also been doing all the artwork for Producer Dojo. It's like I do use Midjourney and stuff. Like some of the elements were designed for Midjourney. You can always tell it's Midjourney when the gear is like gibberish made up gear. But that I also like heavily Photoshop that, of course, and included a lot of like design components and everything. And like that's not like you can't just get Midjourney to spit that out. Like that's artwork that took a while. Like the character design and stuff was Midjourney, and like some of the equipment, but it's all like tons and tons of stuff comped together. But I've been doing my own graphic design for decades, right? But yeah, so mastering sound design is our first course in September. And when you sign up for the annual membership now, you get access to everything that's in the annual membership for an additional 4 months. You get the producer's path as a bonus, and you get the mastering sound design course as a bonus. So you're getting 5 courses for the price of 3. And these linear courses are like people are getting what they would get out of a year at the dojo out of just the producer's path in 90 days. Like it is impossible to do all of the assignments in the producer's path and not make music that you're proud of. And so I can actually, in all honesty, guarantee that you will make music that you are proud of if you do all of those assignments. And if you don't, I'll refund you. And I can stand, that's a guarantee I can stand behind. And like, what other school could guarantee that? You don't get that at a university even. You know, if you go to university for electronic music, you think they're going to guarantee you'll make music you're proud of? Come on. Who would do that? Who would do that? What school could do that? Right? So that's what's up. That's, Producer Dojo is different. Producer Dojo is different. The Mastering Sound Design course is going to cover some hardware topics as well as software. But it's going to be like with the producer's path, it's going to be applicable in any DAW. It's going to be applicable. Like these are like universal principles of sound design that can be instantiated in hardware or in software. And like the music for Akira, which, it inspired me so much. It's like, yeah, they were using, vintage 1980s samplers to work in that way. But the way that they worked when they made that music has inspired to a great degree the way all electronic musicians work in Ableton, in FL Studio, in an MPC, on a modular synth, anywhere. It's like ways of changing your thinking about sampling, ways of changing your thinking about like what sound design means, what kind of workflows come from sound design. How do you make sounds that are unique to you? How do you decide what your style is and how that style and that personal brand can be reflected in your sound design? How do you make sounds so that you're using all original sounds with your fingerprints all over them, and that when people listen to your music, they're like, that's that artist instantly, right? So everything that I teach is always through the lens of style. Style and emotion is what music is all about. Creating an escape for fans, a place where they can go that's away from all the hate and all the boredom and drudgery of the world, and be a kid in a candy store, a musical Disneyland where they can escape and become their authentic selves and meet people like them and know that they belong because they are understood. How do you do that with sound design? That's what the course teaches, right? It's not just technical skills. It's expression, world building, because as Nietzsche said, without music, life is a mistake. Without music, life is a mistake. Music is medicine. Music is artifice, but it is truer than the superficial world that we spend our lives in. Music is a deeper truth, a deeper way of being in the world. It's not just waves, because when you think about it, we're all just waves. Particles are just waves until you look at them. It's waves all the way down. It's waves all the way down. So, this is about not just being an observer of the vibrations of the universe, but an instigator, an active participant, a source becoming the god of your musical world, as Tetsuo does in Akira. Your sound design is about to explode. So, yeah, that's what's up at Producer Dojo. We're taking it to the next level. Big time. The producer's path is done. It's a new chapter. I'm more involved in the dojo than I've ever been. And the memberships are better than they've ever been. Everything that people asked for is back. We solved a lot of the problems that there were too. Like, for example, when we did mixtapes, we had to stop doing mixtapes because we had a problem where people would get upset when they got rejected, and they would get specifically upset with me when they got rejected, which sucked because the mixtapes are a cool extra thing that we were trying to do to be nice. And some people got hurt feelings, and we had people rage quit the dojo because of hurt feelings. And so we had to figure out a way around that. So we have a new system where Karen Suboctave built this Airtable system where when people submit to Airtable, it anonymizes all of the tracks. So the curator, and we have the curation is separate from track feedback so that we don't have a conflict of interest where the same person giving the track feedback is the same person putting together the mixtape. And then people come back for 10 rounds of feedback. It becomes very hard to cut their track if it has to be cut, right? It's a conflict of interest. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. So we solve that by each mixtape gets a new anonymous curator who is outside the dojo and is someone that they don't know who anybody is in the dojo. And they just get a bunch of tracks with all the names taken off of them. And then they put together the mixtape that the tracks want to become using only the quality of the music and the music itself as criteria. And we've done 2 mixtapes like that. Nobody's been mad about the cuts. It's been smooth sailing. The final products, because of this new curation system, the final product of those last 2 mixtapes, I think, is a cut above the other mixtapes. So we solved that too. So mixtapes are back at the 808 level. Meetups are back at the 808 level. The complete collection is fully back at the 808 level. The weekly download is fully back at the 808 level. And if you get the annual membership, the 808 level, or the VIP membership where I'm like your personal sensei and we talk on the phone all the time, if you get any of those 3 and you get them before September, you are paid through to 2026 and you get all 3 semesters in 2025, as well as the producer's path as a bonus and mastering sound design. And as long as because you're gonna have to be patient as we migrate everything over to the new system, but it's done enough that like there's a lot done already. And Discord's popping already. And the producer's path is finished, and a whole lot of the weekly, like the basics library and the reference library, are like I would say like 70% migrated. They're not 100%, but 70% migrated. So, there's definitely more than you could consume before 2025, even if you did it all day, every day. There's more than you could do before 2025 already. So it's a great deal. It's a great deal. And all the basic stuff, the affordable stuff, we did not make it more expensive. And we brought back what needed to be brought back. There's ways to get at the weekly download again. There's ways to get on the mixtapes without people getting mad at me for getting cut on a mixtape, because that has to happen. Like, you have to make cuts when you're making a mixtape. You can't put every song on a mixtape and have it still make sense to fans, So we've solved all the problems at the dojo, and we've solved them by the team being smaller, more involved, and higher quality control on absolutely everything. So yeah, once again, www.producerdojo.com/memberships. So yeah, that's the haps. I'm really excited. I want to give big shout outs to everybody in the community for all the feedback that went into helping us make these necessary changes. These are all changes that were made from listening to the members. So thank you to all of the members who provided feedback and helped us design the new systems. Thank you to Katie and Dave, especially for being the core team. It's like just us now. We're doing all the moderation. We're doing all the product artwork, all the courses, all the Discord moderation, all the customer support. Everything is me, Katie, and Dave. You know, just core team. I'm way more hands on. I've come to the realizations that I needed to come to make the dojo the best it's ever been. And I am really, really excited to see what's in store for 2025. And especially for mastering sound design. I mean, come on. Akira themed sound design course. Like, come on. Who doesn't want to take that course? All right. So if you have any questions, ask them now. Did you know that you could be proud of the music you're making 90 days from now, even if you've never made music before? All it takes is a commitment to 5 minutes a day. Yep, just 5 minutes and you'll embark on a transformative journey into music production and self-discovery. Can you spare that? I'm Bill Gates, and I've spent 20 years distilling my experiences with Grammy-winning artists, making tracks played over 65 million times into something epic for you, The Producer's Path. This isn't just a course, it's a gateway to mastering music production without needing expensive gear or prior experience. You don't need to be born rich, you don't need to be born gifted. All you need is a commitment to spending 5 minutes a day on music. The Producer's Path is a proven system that has supported top artists throughout the industry. And now it's your turn to access these secrets and forge your own unique sound. As you journey through the 12 levels of the Producer's Path, each step designed to build your skills and confidence, you'll not only learn music production, but also discover how to express your individual style, breaking the rules like a true artist. Join our vibrant Producer Dojo community, get feedback on your tracks, and maybe even feature on a Dojo mixtape. With no subscriptions and free updates for life, your path to music mastery is evergreen, and you can come back again and again and again, getting more out of it each time. So what's it going to be? Continue as is, or spend the next 90 days at the dojo transforming into the music producer you've always wanted to be? Listen to what your fellow dojo members have achieved with the Producer's Path. Their success stories could be yours.
I started from zero.
Dude, the way you laid it out,
Here's what you do first.
It's amazing.
The habit tracking changed my whole mindset.
honestly,
Huge breakthrough.
Huge difference.
comprehensive.
Game changers.
It gives me goosebumps.
Just blows my mind.
That's when I was like, okay, I can make music.
I'm actually doing some art.
Making music felt more real at that point.
To understand, hey, motherfucker, I'm doing this shit right.
I can show my children's children who I was.
Other people have been saying it sounds good.
Everybody's like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting.
Never found the answer until I went to the Producer's Path.
Yeah, so that's the Producer's Path is one of the bonuses. And then you also get my course drum sound design and my course bass sound design as bonuses. But those bonuses start getting stripped away September 1st as we get ready for the course. And the course starts halfway through September so that people have time to get back from Burning Man or go to their first college courses or whatever. You know, September, first couple weeks are usually a busy time. There's Labor Day and everything. People are squeezing the last bits of summer goo out of their summer. And I'm also on tour. I'm going to be in Denver on August 30th, in Salt Lake City on August 31st, and in Phoenix, Arizona on September 6th. So there are going to be studio sessions in all of those cities. So if you want to sit in on a studio session, hit up support@producerdojo.com. That is an option. I mean, it's not free or else there'd be like 6,000 people at the studio. But there, you know, you can come hang out in person and watch me work on real music in the studio. So that's pretty fun. Yeah, I'm going to be at the Since July studio. Since July is a really amazing artist from Denver, and he's been nice enough to let me have his studio while he's at Burning Man. And there's some really world-class artists going to be coming through that studio next week. I'm really excited. And then Boom Sayer and I are going to be doing some studio stuff in Salt Lake City, and then I'm going to be linking up with Scars and Mayor Apeshit in Arizona. So, yeah, so studio sessions in person are an option. Hit up support@producerdojo.com if you want to participate in any of those three cities. Check out my socials for the gig info. But those gigs are all going to be really cracking. I've been working so hard on new music with Ian Echo Zoo. We've got this. We made some gems this week. Like 2 of the best tracks I've ever made in my life. I can't wait to drop them at these gigs. But he is currently waiting for me to finish this broadcast outside this very studio. So I am probably going to go get to that. So there was a question from Ego about how much is a sound design course if you buy it separately. We've not made it available separately. It will be available in September. Like we're going to have a sign up period. I think that probably starts in September. But like the best move is to get the annual membership because you get the producer's path and the sound design course as a bonus. You get the rest of 2024 as a bonus, and you get the bass sound design course and the drum sound design course come as bonuses as well. And then you have the rest of the year to do the producer's path because there's another question from Tyson. What are the 2025 courses? I can tell you the first 2, but the third one, I don't want to. There's a few different options. We'll probably end up putting it to a vote. But the first course is called The Crucible, and that's the Make an Album course. So the producer's path is a prerequisite. That's the Make a Track That You Are Proud to Share course. And then the sound design course is, about making your own style in terms of sounds and stopping this endless cycle of collecting folders and folders of samples that you don't use. And learning how to design sounds that you are going to use again and again and again because you love them. Then forging your sound so that all your sounds are custom and bespoke to you, and you have your sound design is part of your writing process. Your sound design is part of your expression. So that course is going to be awesome, and that's in our fall semester. The Crucible is album writing course, and it goes from January, in which you'll be recording synth jams every day in the month of January, at least one quick little synth jam every day, into February album writing month, which is an existing challenge in the music community, and then into our new Dojo branded Mix March, where it's a whole month on mixing. And then the summer semester next year is mastering the mix. So we're doing mastering sound design first, and then mastering the mix in the summer after the Crucible. So, and then the fall semester next year, I don't want to say what it is and paint myself into a corner by committing to it, but there are a few different options. It might be a course on developing personal style. Like I've been meaning to do a full-length 12-week course on developing your artist brand and style, but it might also be a course on promoting and releasing music. There's been a lot of people about how do you actually build a career? A lot of questions about that. And then I want to do a course on composition and music theory and compositional theory for electronic music producers. I've done a lot of classes on that over the years, but I've not systematized them into a course. The producer's path and the Crucible are essentially workflow courses. So, the producer's path is all about the different workflows of creating music in different ways, learning all of the recipes, learning how to prep, learning how to mix, how to put all the pieces together to make a track. And then the Crucible is the same thing, but album level. How do you make a large, cohesive body of work, right? So those are workflow courses. So they do include mixing, sound design, and composition, of course, right? But I want to do a full-length course on just composition at some point. But people want mixing, people want style and developing a personal aesthetic and developing the artist level of your brand. And then people want a promotional course too. So we'll probably put it to a vote. It will likely be one of those. But I do have a couple other ideas for courses that are pretty cool. But I would love to do a course just on style. I would love to do that because that is the cornerstone of everything, style and brand and just getting clear about what you're even doing as a producer, getting clear about that. Because you can never spend too much time on that. Developing your style and developing your sound is fundamental. But all of the courses are through the lens of style and through the lens of self-expression and making real art and not just putting together a bunch of off the shelf sounds and tutorials like, oh, I want to make, a Skrillex bass and disclosure chord progressions and flume glitches. So let's watch all the, you got to go deeper than that if you want to really impress fans. You got to go past studying and understanding your heroes and into finding out what is the music that needs you to make it. What is the music, what is in your heart of hearts? What music is calling to you, because it takes a while to even learn to hear that and to learn to be sensitive to what is going on in your unconscious mind and learning to give voice to that, because we're all born artists, but the adult world beats that out of us. When you're a kid, you skip down the street and bounce and hop from block to block on the sidewalk. Everything is a game. But there's a point when you stop skipping, isn't there? There's a point when you feel like skipping down the sidewalk would make you silly. What would people think? And then we crush our imagination into a little box and we put it away on the shelf with our action figures from when we were kids. And we say, don't dream, be realistic. How are you going to fit yourself into the machine of capitalism and become a productive little cog that makes the rich richer and doesn't rock the boat? That's what society teaches us, and that's what the traditional education system teaches us. A lot of people don't know that shit was designed by famed Nazi Henry Ford. Helped to design the educational system, along with father of operant conditioning and behaviorism, B.F. Skinner, who did not believe that human beings had free will. They put him and Henry Ford together to turn the whole world into a factory and turn everybody into workers. And so we stopped skipping down the sidewalk, didn't we? So, you got to unlearn that. You got to unlearn that. Take your inner child out of the box, and learn to hear their voice and learn to help them sing. Okay, so Derek says, I wish I could afford more right now. I had to cancel past gigs to do shingles on my cording hand arm. Shingles, ooh, I had shingles once. It was horrifying. I hope that wasn't the disease. I've been doing the stream feedbacks, and it's been amazing for me. Will that service change now? I'm not sure which membership level that you have for the streaming feedback, but if you already have access to track feedback and you already have a membership, you can just keep rolling with your existing membership. But if you want the new feedback membership, which gets you the basics library and the reference library and unlimited track feedback and unlimited submissions for streams, that's $40 a month. And it's a great deal. It gives you basically it's like getting the weekly download and track feedback, which each were $20 historically. Like in 2017, those were each $20. And so we've not raised the price because we're trying to be cool when everyone else is trying to gouge you. So that's if you are into feedback and you want to get the feedback membership, it's right there on www.producerdojo.com. I'll type it into the chat. producerdojo.com/memberships. And the deal where you get the Producer's Path as a bonus, and you get the rest of 2024 as a bonus, and you get the bass sound design course as a bonus, and you get the drum sound design course as a bonus. That starts getting stripped away in September. First thing to go is the Producer's Path. And then we start taking away the bass sound design course and the drum sound design courses bonuses. And then probably about halfway through the sound design course, we're going to cut off new admissions, and you can't join halfway through and then we'll have another promotion in January. But basically, this is it. If you want to get the rest of 2024 free, and the producer's path is a bonus, and the sound design course is a bonus, the full semester at the dojo as a bonus, and also the bass sound design course and drum sound design course that people have loved for a long time. You got to do that by September. All right, cool. Well, I think that is all the questions, at least all the ones that I'm seeing in the chat. If you have any more questions, ask them now, because we're going once, going twice, going 3 times. And that is our meeting. Oh, yes. Producer Dojo, the new chapter. Producer's path is done. Welcome to the future. Your sound design is about to explode. I'll see you in September. Peace.